not being able to do anything, though. Whoa!
A massive thank you to Pirate Monkey, It's Dolphin, Peter, Pierre, and James for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back, guys, to a brand new video, where today we're here finally back with F1 2021 My Team Season 4. Of course, if you missed out on pre-season testing that went live yesterday, definitely go back and check it out. We went through all the limited driver transfer news ready for the new season, of course. Which teams seem to have made progress with the massive rule changes that we saw heading into the season, of course. The new livery for our car as well there. Obviously, we've changed up the paint scheme once more there, and everything else we should expect as we head into the new year there. Of course, there's been a lot of change up and down the Formula 1 world, and I don't think that's better described than when you look at the new performance chart here. Red Bull seem to be going into Bahrain just with a minor advantage over Mercedes there. McLaren, ourselves, and Williams waiting just behind them in the wings there. Then you've got the likes of Ferrari and AlphaTauri there. Alpine, Aston Martin falling back there. Alfa Romeo and Haas still bringing up the rear of the field as well. But it's an exciting time for the My Team career mode. I'm really excited to jump into Bahrain this weekend. Of course, a completely fresh canvas after a mixed end to last season. Of course, a couple of highs, the win at Japan and Brazil, but also quite a few lows. Obviously, Jenson Button's 3 mechanical failures and my own failure at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as well. That was not quite the way we wanted to end the season. Luckily, it wasn't too damaging, though, to the team nonetheless. But yeah, back in Bahrain though today, obviously with the new 16 race custom calendar as well there. Obviously I mentioned this in the pre-season testing video, but obviously we're at Bahrain today. Then we've got Imola, Portimao, the iconic Monaco, and you can see then Baku, Canada, France, Austria, Silverstone, Spa, Monza, Singapore, Japan, USA, Mexico, and Brazil there. It's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself, ready for the new year. But yeah, let's dive in then, ready for Bahrain. Right, well here we are then. First laps in the U2 Motorsport V4 car then. And I must admit, immediately a big fan of the new paint scheme on the car there, of course. Gone with the Benetton style colours. Worries me that Jeff still likes to mention how a DRS zone works on F1 2021, but some things will never escape from this game as well there. But yeah, really sort of intrigued to see how this year will go. I feel early stages, we're going to have to pile a lot of downforce onto the car. Tracks like Monaco are going to be a big challenge for, I think, everyone up and down the field there. Of course, just losing so much of the aero and the chassis that obviously I think pretty much everyone got used to by the end of last year. So it is going to be a tough start to the year, but fingers crossed, you know, we can string together some good results early on and try to hold a lot of momentum in towards the summer stretch. I think the other big thing, of course, when none of the cars have lost any performance down the straights, dive bombs might be critical early on in the year, especially around a track like Sakir.
That's looking good. Now let's try for purple. You'll get a bonus for consistency if you can chain good corners together.
Green score, though, in the track climatization lap. We'll take that as, yeah, 209 miles an hour into the speed trap. Yeah, these things are going to be missiles. Right, heading into the final corner, then, of our fuel-saving run. It's certainly, yeah, I'm learning a lot about the new cars, of course. So little aero on the front end, finding it really easy to lock up the fronts as well. But can we cheese away? Oh, not quite purple.
Decent lap there, but there's still more to find. Keep at it.
Russell seems very quick though in the Aston Martin, as well as JB there. I think Charles Leclerc, yeah, it's just gone fastest. Let's get into qualifying. Really do hope the days of having to feature Q1 footage are basically behind us now on F1 2021, but Sakir has often delivered some qualifying drama as well in recent years on the game there, as you can just hear, snagging the front so badly. I might have to try and change the brake bars around just a little bit, because yeah, just really struggling to get those front tyres slowed down without locking them up. It's not massive, but it is certainly just little snags everywhere, which is costing us rotation, and over the course of a stint will eat away at those fronts. Sergio Perez so far has set the bet mark of a 124.0. Would have thought we'll see the likes of Hamilton down into the 123s, but up towards the line we're way off that. It's going to be a 127. Oh, there were a lot of mistakes there though, so yeah, definitely a lot of time to find. Really just want no drama on this second lap. A good lap down into the 124s, ideally. Going to be a lot of time over this first run. But again, I'm moving the brake bias around slightly, pushing it a bit more forward, seeing what I can get away with in the car. And that's a lot better. Oh, that was beautiful down through turn 1. Actually be able to get it slotted in. The joys of practice, sort of working out these little tweaks and changes you need to make. I'm a half second up out of the first complex alone. We're heading down in towards the final corner. 1.6 seconds up already on this lap, and still finding more and more time as the lap has evolved there. It's not quite going to be a 124, but it is going to be a low 25. Puts us 13th. Quicker than Bottas and Latifi, but still not confident we're safe. Yeah, we're not going to risk it in race 1 of the year there. Of course, 16 races means every race is even more important than ever before. So we're just going to go out for one more run and just make sure we're safely through into Q2. Of course, I forget the Williams are now a pretty decent car in F1, so if we're just ahead of them, we might actually be doing alright early on in the weekend. But yeah, if we can just get close to the 24s again like I aimed for, that should be enough. A couple of small mistakes on this run, but we're still only down to 14th at the moment. Oh, not a particularly good run through the final corner, though. It's going to cost us time all the way up to the flag. It's going to be another 10th improvement. That should be enough to see us through into Q2. Yes, it is. P13 there, so we probably didn't need to do that lap, but felt more comfortable doing it. So Verstappen and Sergio Perez then fastest at the end of Q1 there. Looks like McLaren aren't as far away as some had anticipated there. Out in Q1 though, George Russell, rather surprisingly there, followed by Mazepin and the two Alphas and the Haas cars. Let's dive into Q2. We've only got one fresh set of tyres, so we'll have to do a bit of a banker lap and then really go all guns blazing on the second run. Right, so yeah, like I said, going to go for a banker first of all, then in Q2 on the older warning set of softs. And then fingers crossed that can give us a good delta to try and actually set a 24 at the final corner. Though first lap's been pretty decent there. A Tsunoda and Mercedes turning up the wick just a little bit. 25.6 isn't too bad as a good delta time to set. Sergio Perez though, 23.7. Red Bull are fast. Right, so currently sat down in P15 in the drop zone here. JB's finding a bit more time in the car as well. But yeah, we need to try and go for an absolute worldie of a second lap here. Not the end of the world if you actually go out in Q2 here in Sakir. The one stop is very, very strong and very, very difficult to do on a worn set of tyres in Q3. But yeah, let's just see what we can muster up then. Well, that wasn't the best line through turn 1. Clipping the inside curb. Just getting a little, maybe too good on the brakes there, as we actually got it stopped a lot earlier than I expected in towards that first corner there. Really attacking the curbs though around a lot of this track. Of course, some of the curbs did get remodeled, but I can't really sort of see any changes. The only thing I can sort of think of is whether it's this curb here is less likely to try and spin you out now, but yeah, not too sure about that one. But yeah, so far this lap's been nothing to write home about. Half-tenth down as we head into one of the more difficult corners of the lap. That was okay. No, it wasn't. Huge amount of oversteer on the exit. You absolutely hate to see it. Yeah, this lap certainly has not been quite what we needed here in Q2. Just struggling with the balance of the car just a little bit. Nice bit of understeer there as well as we head back up the hill. And just got to try and really tip it in. Oh, come on, we just can't seem to get the car quite where I want it on this lap so far. That's a warning for exceeding track limits, is it, Cody? Okay. One more corner to go, though. Yeah, it's not been a particularly brilliant one at the final corner. The roll on the power nice and early. That's a pretty decent run at the final corner. 2 tenths up. It's going to be a 25.4. It's P14. It's not what we wanted. Well, there we go then. It is out in Q2 for the Bahrain Grand Prix there. I don't think we've ever made Q3 still around this track on F1 at 2021. But Perez ahead of Tsunoda and Max Verstappen. There you can see Ilott doing very, very well in his first qualifying session for McLaren there. JB able to find a lot of time as well at the end of the session there. But, I mean, at very best, I think we would have ended up P11 in that session there. 17 thousandths quicker than Bottas, who, yeah, got out-qualified by Nicholas Latifi, who could be on for some points this weekend as well there. But like I said, the one-stop strategy very, very good around here. Tyre wear, I think, is going to be quite high as well with the lack of downforce on the cars. I think everyone's going to be pushing the rubber quite a lot here. Let's dive in to the Bahrain Grand Prix.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal. And it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Tsunoda, Hamilton, Callum Eilert, and Gasly, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Button and Carlos Sainz, Latifi, Ocon, and Guan Yu Zhou, Mr. Monaco, Bottas, Stroll, George Russell and Nikita Mazepin, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Lundgaard and Robert Schwartzman. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Well, here we are then. First race of the year. Back in Sakir. Very, very much looking forward to this one here today. Going to be an interesting test, though, for all the cars as well. Race pace has generally been pretty good in the old 2-and-2 Motorsport cars as well here, so we'll have to wait and see whether that carries through in today's Grand Prix as well. But yeah, the one-stop definitely looking like the way to go here. Mediums to hards later on in the day. But, of course, the safety car can completely change that, you know. Power unit failures are a common occurrence here in the Bahrain desert as well. But let's dive in then for the first race of the new season. Season 4 is finally here. 5 red lights. And it is going to be lights out. And away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Not up to the best start in the world there as we head down towards turn 1. Bottas and George Russell both getting around the outside in towards turn 1. Will be nice and deep on the brakes there at the inside of Esteban Ocon as all. Tyres very, very cold at the start of the Grand Prix. Definitely don't want to do a Mazepin off the start there as Russell tries to get running this up the hill. Carlos Sainz is not a good start to the race as well. But yeah, really got to try and build up some temperature now in the tyres, which again, less aero. It'll make it more difficult. I know I keep mentioning it, but it is such a big change up in these cars ready for the new season. Up the inside though of the Alpine driver there, we need to start making some moves early on, and we are at 1 spot off the start of the Grand Prix. They're exactly what we needed. Red Bull 1 and 2 on the grid. Yeah, they are looking unmatched this weekend, but we saw similar in the real life 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, and Hamilton was still able to sneak away the race victory from Max Verstappen there. Look at the Ferrari power though down the straight. Not a particularly good car through the twisty bits, that Ferrari this year, but I'm sure their power unit will come in clutch this weekend in Bahrain. Of course, so many straights around this track. Power is still very much the key overriding component, but as we head towards the end of lap 1, I'm pretty certain Verstappen still leads the way there. We got Daniel Ricciardo, I think that is, having a look up the inside of Nicholas Latifi in a battle I never thought we'd expect to see in Formula 1. But yeah, Verstappen leads at the end of 1 there, ahead of Perez there. Both Mercedes in 3rd and 4th. Callum Eilert in his first Formula 1 Grand Prix in P5 there, ahead of the ever-quick Pierre Gasly. I think already we're seeing Latifi struggle here as Guan Yu Zhou is trying to apply the pressure. Williams, yeah, looks so quick in pre-season testing there as I say that. Now Guan Yu Zhou's on the back foot. Carlos Sainz trying to look past the AlphaTauri as we head up the hill, and we're just waiting in the wings here, seeing if we can try and capitalise and gain anything from this situation. Should be able to get a good run out onto the support start-finish straight there, but nothing gained. Nothing lost here. Guan Yu Zhou straight back up the inside though, feeling a lot more confident in the new AlphaTauri. There is contact with the Ferrari as we head up the hill there. Guan Yu Zhou again just getting a little bit out of shape, so we're going to sneak up the inside over to P12 now of this GP there. We can see already a big gap opening up
That brings you up a place.
ahead of Nicholas Latifi there. That's going to be a good 2 seconds already to Daniel Ricciardo further up the road there, which is not what we need. Back to start lap 4 of this Grand Prix as Latifi still under a lot of pressure from Carlos Sainz. Let's test the top end speed then of this thing as well. The Ferrari, like I said, always a slippery package down the straights, but we're not exactly slow either as we head back down towards turn 1 to the outside of Latifi there. Carlos Sainz pretty late on the brakes as well. Around the outside of the Canadian we go, and yeah, Williams definitely don't have the race pace I think they were hoping for early on in the year there. So around the outside of him we go, back up into 11th there as already Ricciardo 5 seconds down the road there. Carlos Sainz I think has been the biggest loser off this start, but if we can try and hang on in his DRS over the next few laps, that could really do us a lot of favours. I think at the moment though we're actually in quite an underrated position in this Grand Prix, not too far away from some of the soft runners there, as I think Button, Ricciardo and Charles Leclerc having a bit of a ding-dong there. We might just have lost some DRS though to Carlos Sainz with that small slip-up, but yeah, it's not going to be long I don't think before a lot of these guys have to pit. But looking at the mini-map, I think later on, if things go our way, Callum Ilott, Pierre Gasly might still be beatable here, if of course the AI can't pull off the one-stop. Must admit, one problem I'm already having with this car's new paint scheme is the fact that green behind the ERS, in my peripheral vision I keep thinking I've accidentally got the ERS enabled going through the corners, so I'm going to have to be careful with that over the course of the year. But one of the strange quirks I'd never considered I'd have to worry about on F1 2021. However,
is 4.3 seconds.
Closing in on Carlos Sainz back down towards turn 1. Not quite close enough there to go for a full send, and I don't think Sainz because I'm going to have it anyway. Oh, we've got yellow flags out. Someone's got issues. It's Guan Yu Zhou. Is that an engine failure already for a Honda car? Guan Yu Zhou seemingly, has he just binned it? I think he's just binned it. So riding the board then with Guan Yu Zhou towards the top of the hill. Yep, he's just gone right round in very, very odd fashion there, but at least it's not a Honda power failure in the opening race of the year. And fair play, he's actually managed to get it out of the gravel trap. Oh, there we go. First car's into the pits at the end of lap 7 here.
Jackson is coming in for his stop. Our gap to the car in front is 1.8 seconds.
So at least we've seen a lot of the AI are on medium, so they are definitely 2-stopping here. So I'm into P5 now of the Grand Prix, and we can really do with the likes of Latifi and Ocon acting as rear gunners for us. However, I've hoped for that before on F1 2021, and then the AI have done nothing. But we've got a good few seconds over the likes of Perez. Our top 3 are into the pits as well at the end of lap 8, and I don't think Sainz is going to be far behind them, as we might have actually been able to get a run on Carlos Sainz out of the final corner. Go for the Fernando Alonso DRS strat. But yeah, we are going to inherit the lead then of the Bahrain Grand Prix here, albeit just for a couple of laps. But yeah, we're going to pit around lap 13, I want to say, in this Grand Prix, and of course take those mediums to the end there. Has Perez jumped Verstappen? I think he has. Sergio Perez is out in P2 then of the net P2 I should say, of the Bahrain Grand Prix. I don't think Ocon and Latifi are going to be able to do much to defend from him for very long. But yeah, that's good for us, and if those guys all keep battling, we need to try and pull away. Seems like in all the shuffle of Perez and Verstappen trying to get past all the back markers, that Bottas is now up into P5 of the Grand Prix, but Verstappen has jumped back past Sergio Perez here, so Checo, yeah, has lost out to his teammate there. Both Williams now got to try and defend from Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes, who's just trying to keep the Red Bulls within arm's reach. But yeah, now Verstappen and Checo closing in on me rather rapidly. If we can stay out ahead of them by the time we pit, I'll be pretty happy, which I think will probably be the end of the next lap. We might try and get to the end of 14.
We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap.
Right, well, Team 1 is in then at the end of this lap, but Verstappen took, 1.4 out of us last time round, so keep him at a DRS range and we should be okay. And yeah, that Red Bull is looking formidable here in the darkness. Right, we're about to head down in towards the final corner then, as we get ready to box in this Grand Prix. I think Verstappen's just going to have picked up the DRS off us, but we are not going to get in the way of him at this stage of the day. Get it slowed down nice and tidily. There we go. And where are we going to re-emerge then in this Grand Prix? That is the next question. I think we're going to be quite far down the order, to be honest, looking at it, as a few more guys are going to peel in as well there. Ilott's going to fly back past us. He's doing mega well in his first Formula 1 Grand Prix. 2.5 second stop isn't too shabby either, as we're going to be out, I think, just outside the points there, around the Ferraris and our teammate Jensen Button. There goes JB. There goes Carlos Sainz, who we were right behind, of course, when he pit earlier on. So we've really, yeah, absolutely gained nothing, absolutely not nothing to Carlos Sainz there. Was that Button getting squeezed out by Nikita Mazepin? Mate, what's going on there? Big battle though as we head up the hill. Button to the outside of the Alpine once more. But JB, yeah, feeling a little bit unsettled then by the looks of it at the start of this race. We're now on, of course, fresh rubber though, so we should have a big advantage over these guys. Right, come on then, Carlos Sainz, let's see what you got. As we head down in towards the final corner here, I can see this battle getting rather aggressive rather quickly to the outside of Carlos Sainz, who almost goes into the back of our teammate. Try and put the power down on the exit. Mazepin into the pits as well there, so JB's going to get some slipstream and some DRS off him. Is Carlos Sainz going to be able to gain back down in towards turn 1? No, he is not by the looks of it, but he's going to go for a send anyway. We've got to give him the room on the inside. Again, we try and put the power down on the exit, and again, get a lot of wheel spin. But we have held on, and we're, yeah, straight back up to the points then of this race. And now we just got to wait for all these guys to pit again, because effectively now, yeah, we're a pit stop ahead of our teammate Jensen Button, and we might be able to overtake him rather soon. Alright, let's see what we can do then on our teammate JB out of the final corner. Should be able to get a good run on him. Of course, equal cars, pretty much identical in terms of setup as well. There is JB to the inside, but nothing he can do as we head back down towards turn 1. He's going to keep the nose there. Again, we'll give him the room. But fresher rubber, more grip, more confidence, I think, as well at this stage of the day. We are going to be able to get past him there, but he's got the DRS on us now. Is he going to be able to have a run up towards the top of the hill? We'll break nice and deep there, running a little bit wide through the corner. But we will hold on to the position. Now up into 9th. Charles Leclerc.
Ahead is 2.1 seconds.
There we go. At least we didn't even have to look. 2.1 to Charles Leclerc at the road. But I think these guys surely, yeah, going to be diving in probably next couple of laps. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Oh, Callum Ilott. Has he made a mistake or has the engine gone on that McLaren? It'll be heartbreaking if the engine's gone. I think he has just looped it round though.
The car in front is 2.5 seconds.
How on earth? What has he done? He's just stopped on the outside of the circuit.
Clear.
I think he's got it going again now, but heartbreak for Callum Ilott, who have been running so well up to this point in this GP there, but he has made a small slip up. It must have been really close on the tyres as well for him. There is everyone around us peels back into the pit lane there. You can see whichever Red Bull's just come out. Sergio Perez.
Jensen in the pits.
Sergio Perez has stayed ahead of us, but we are still ahead of Hamilton in this race. I'm at a 4th again, but of course top 2 have got a pit, so we might be in a battle for the podium. Whether it's just for a couple of laps or not, we'll have to wait and see. It's about how quick the Mercedes will be able to close back up to us. But yeah, Callum Ilott, I'm sure, heartbroken by that error. There we go, top 2 into the pits at the end of lap 19. So we've just got 10 laps to go here in Bahrain. And so far, so good in this one. Yuki Tsunoda is going to come back out behind us. But Hamilton, yeah, already took a second out of me last lap. So I think we won't probably have much of a battle with him. Maybe Tsunoda. No, Tsunoda's come out ahead of Hamilton and is on even quicker tyres. So I think P5 might be all we can get from this one, ahead of Pierre Gasly. But, you know, if we get to a couple of laps from the end, I'm more than happy to put up a fight for it. Perez just turning up the wick now. Again, he's jumped for Saffin over the pit stop, so I'm sure Max is not going to be happy with that.
7.1 seconds.
Red Bull could be duking it out to the flag here for the first race of the year. But we've got to try and now keep Tsunoda at bay. And I don't think that's going to happen for very long, especially if we get a run like that. At the first couple of corners, Yuki Tsunoda up the inside. Oh, big lock up at the top of the hill. Got to run very, very deep there. Again, Tsunoda, though, still side by side. Going to not be able to do anything, though. Whoa! Yeah, might have got a bit optimistic there. Hamilton's going to sneak through as well. And I think, yeah, now it's just about trying to solidify P5 in this race. Sainz, though. Sainz? Valtteri Bottas.
With him, he might make a mistake. He can still regain the position.
Yeah, Bottas running in P7 now, so perhaps Williams have come good later on. Oh, we got more yellow flags out. Someone's pulling to the wayside here. It's Jensen Button! Oh my god. It's a power failure. We've switched to Honda and they've immediately let us down. And Jensen Button, how much bad luck can one man face in Formula 1? They're out here in Sakira in the first race of the year. The Honda power unit seems to have just switched off on him. Hasn't even gone up in an expensive plume of smoke. That is gutting. I even had some of you guys in the comments of the late last season saying Honda Power was really, really reliable for you guys as well there. But, yeah, I don't know what it is on F1 2021 for us. Our teammates and ourselves, to be fair, always seem to get power failures. Whoever we go with, maybe Mercedes are the only rightful answer, but they weren't willing to give us any power. Heartbreak, though, for JB at the end of this one, and you hate to see it with 7 to go. Have got to be a bit careful, though, in the final 5 laps of this Grand Prix, because I think Gasly is still sensing an opportunity to take best of the rest away from me here. I think we definitely need this P5 to kick-start the year, especially with JB obviously falling to the wayside. So we are going to fight this one out to the very end if we can. But yeah, Gasly's still taking a lot of time out. I mean, lap after lap. Oh, more yellow flags out. We've got one of the Aston Martins has gone round. Let's have a look. We've got, I think, George Russell side by side with Esteban Ocon there, and Russell has just pulled over. George? I don't know. Just over 3 laps to go, though, here in Bahrain, and Pierre Gasly now all over the back of us as we start lap 27 of 29. Like I said, I'm not wanting to give up on this one. We are going to fight this out to the bitter end. The battle for best of the rest this weekend. Red Bull and Mercedes have looked dominant out front there. Gasly in the wheel tracks, though, as we head back down towards turn 1. We're going to go defensive on him, and we've got to try and keep the nose there. Up the inside, almost contact between myself and the AlphaTauri driver. They slammed the door on the exit of turn 1, and it looks like we'll live to fight another day there. We actually get the DRS off him as well.
Just focus on the driving.
No tyre concerns as well, but that is not the line through turn 4. Right, 2 to go then. Are we going to see Gasly try it again as we head back down towards turn 1 here? Yes, he is, and again, we'll go defensive on him in towards the first corner. Gasly doesn't have that much overspeed on us this time, but he's still going to try and send it around the outside, and again, we'd have to give him the room this time around. He's got a lot more of the car up the inside. Big old squeeze. We get caught out over the curb and on the exit, but neither of us have got the DRS. Not sure how we've managed that. We must have gone across the timing loop. Exactly side by side as Gasly there. Desperation setting in. Tried to sneak it up the inside through turn 4, but we definitely already committed to the corner there. And that, again, is going to put him on the back foot. I genuinely have no idea what more Pierre can do to earn a Red Bull drive, or at least get out of AlphaTauri. I've tried to put him in our driver votes a couple of times, but you guys haven't been interested for whatever reason. Look at this. Why wouldn't you want this on our team there? Trying to go for a send in towards the penultimate corner of the penultimate lap here, but just one more to go here from Bahrain. It has been an interesting start to the all-new campaign. We got yellow flags out. Someone else has got issues. Oh, don't say it's Bottas onto the final lap of the Grand Prix there. We've got bigger things to worry about, though. Gasly to the inside, in towards turn 1 there. We're going to have to dart right back out to the racing line there. But Bottas out of the Bahrain Grand Prix with just 1 lap to go here, as again we squeeze Gasly out on the exit of the first complex there. But Bottas was on for such a good result for Williams. It's a good job Latifi was running not too far behind him there. They still should be able to take away some points from this weekend, but heartbreak for Williams on what has been a mixed emotions start to the year there. They look so strong in testing, haven't quite had the same pace we would have expected from them here in Bahrain, but one team we have expected this pace from was Red Bull after years of just falling, slowly slipping behind the likes of Ferrari and ourselves. You know, Red Bull, they've come back this year. Adrian Newey has, of course, worked his magic once more there. Gasly, though, still trying to look past us, but nothing's going to happen here. Which Red Bull is it going to be, though, as we head out of the final corner? Verstappen does come through to win here in Bahrain there. Fastest lap as well on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Sergio Perez P2. Tsunoda is going to finish in P3 here ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Mercedes and Red Bull, that is going to be a battle to watch out for over the course of the year. But in towards the final corner, just got to defend from Pierre Gasly one final time. From 13th on the grid to 5th at the flag, it's been a good start to the campaign.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So another fantastic victory for Red Bull today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Today's performance means Max Verstappen now owns the top spot in the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Well, if that isn't a message from Red Bull, I don't know what is at the end here in Sakir. Max Verstappen, pole position, fastest lap, race victory, 26 points on the board. The only man who looked to even be challenging him was his teammate Sergio Perez there this weekend. Yuki Tsunoda, though, in P3, ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Mercedes, yeah, have certainly got to pull their finger out if they want to try and reclaim Constructors' glory at the end of this year there. But we were the best ranked one-stopper from the Grand Prix, 14th on the grid, in fact, to 5th at the end of the race there. Just quarter of a second between myself and Pierre Gasly. What a battle that was late on in the Grand Prix there. Daniel Ricciardo, a very, very quiet 7th place there. Probably saved a little bit based on Callum Ilot's mistake late on in the Grand Prix there. Otherwise, yeah, writing would have been on the wall, I think, for Daniel Ricciardo there. Latifi, though, was the only other driver to make the one-stop work in P8, but of course, heartbreak for Valtteri Bottas, who would have probably picked up 7th in that Grand Prix there. Williams, yeah, should have had a double point score in that Grand Prix there. Leclerc and Sainz, though, get both Ferraris inside the top 10 after a lot of worries in pre-season testing. Seems Ferrari aren't as bad as a lot of people had anticipated there. Ilott, though, I'm sure there is a lot more to come from him over the course of this year. Then you can see the likes of the Alpines, the Aston Martins, and Guan Yu Zhou there in the AlphaTauri ahead of the Alfa Romeos and the Haas cars there. But yeah, just Bottas and JB not making it to the checkered flag there. Does mean championship-wise, though, of course, drivers is exactly the same as the race result. Constructors, Red Bull on top, the full 44 points there ahead of Mercedes. We're P3 after the opening race of the year there, just 2 ahead of AlphaTauri there. McLaren on 6, Williams on 4, Ferrari on 3, and then we've got 4 teams yet to score after the opening race of the year there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like and get yourself subscribed. There's a lot of work to be done behind the scenes, but we're going to really put our foot down this year and try to see if we can challenge at the front. We'll be back very, very soon with round 2 of the year, where we head to Imola. A new track for F1 2021. I'm really hyped to be doing it. I'll see you guys very, very soon.
A massive thank you for the continued support from all our channel members. If you want to be featured in these end clips, make sure you click the join button down below. But yeah, once again, a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David, Ben, Aiden, F. Stathios, Kato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, and Mighty Spork for becoming channel members. The support is really, really appreciated.